Hello guys, welcome to the lecture. As you can see, this is the example -label page, and here we are going to make another example using that same HTML page. So let's talk about the root pseudo class and the CSS variable. First we need to talk about the root pseudo class. It actually the same has the selector HTML. The only difference is that it has higher specificity. What is the specificity? I will show you in a couple of moments, but first we need to understand is identical to the HTML, but the only difference is it has higher specificity. So what we are going to do, we are going to open up the HTML file for the example -labels, and here we are going to make a variable. So for the variable we just simply make 2 hyphen, and here we are going to say, let's say red, and then we're going to say, let's say color. I'm using camel case, so here you can say red color, and then we are going to put our value, and here we're going to say red. What it does, the red value store inside this variable which we have created. So we have created this variable inside the HTML. You can create anywhere you want, but the right way to create a variable is inside the root pseudo class. We will talk that later, but first just focus here. Whenever you want to create a variable, you need to put 2 hyphen here, then the name of the variable you want to give, and then the value that you want to be stored in the variable. So this time we have given the red value to the red color variable. Now let's apply that variable inside the body. So here we are going to say background, and instead of giving a hash hexadecimal value of the color or RGB value for the color, we are going to use that variable here. So we are going to say var, and inside the parentheses we are going to say hyphen, and the variable name is red color, and just end that line. Now let's refresh the page. When we refresh it, you will see it apply the color, the red color. Why? Because it is using the value which is stored inside the variable. So that is very wonderful to add and work with the variables, and it is very powerful to use it. We're going to use variable to apply color to our project. So let's talk about the root pseudo class, and it's applied like this. If I add colon here and I say only colon, and I remove this and I say root, and now it will select the core of that HTML document tree. What does it mean? I mean to say it will give this block a higher specificity compared to the HTML which we applied over there. If I make a variable, and if I say red color, the same variable, and I change here and I said red now is blue, and if I save it, if I refresh the page, you will see it becomes blue. Why? Because it has higher specificity. When a class or a selector has a higher specificity, it will give a priority to that specific class or selector higher as compared to the style or class or selector which has a lower specificity. It will leave that style and it will apply the rule according to the specificity of that selector or a class. So now the root pseudo class has a higher specificity, so that is why it's applying the exact same variable. Now it's applying the same variable, but the value of the variable is changed. Whenever you apply this root pseudo class, it will give that style. Whatever you put in this block, it will apply that style 100%, because this root selector has a higher specificity compared to other selectors. So using a variable or creating variable, it is important or useful to add variable inside the root, because the root pseudo class has a higher specificity compared to the HTML. So the HTML, you can see, not applying that red color red, because we have changed that block. It doesn't mean that we have put this HTML up. We can change here, but it will do the same effect. It will give the blue as it giving before. It's not about the position, it's about the specificity. To right way to add a variable or create a variable, always use the root pseudo class. It will give the higher specificity. So here we are going to say red color. Now our variable is created. Now this time this variable will work 100% no matter how much time you change the variable until you change from the pseudo class. So save the file and now refresh it. Now it will give the red color. So that's it for the CSS variable and the root pseudo class. So that is how we create variable inside the CSS. So always use the CSS variable inside the pseudo class. It will be helpful. In the next couple of videos, we're gonna start creating our variables and we're gonna apply these variables inside the design. So that's it for now, and see you in the next lecture.